Aloha, everybody, and welcome back. And mahalo for joining me today. Most people who move to Kailua think they found it, and they're right. They have the beaches, the town, the pace of life. There's nothing else like it on Oahu. But there's a small pocket of this town that even a lot of locals don't fully know about. It's called Maunawili. It's tucked right up against the Ko'ola Range, those dramatic green mountains you see behind me right now. And it has this quality that's really hard to put into words until you've spent some time here. It's quiet, it's lush, it feels private, and yet you're minutes from everything. I'm Marlene, and I'm a real estate agent here in Kailua, and I actually live in Maunawili. So today I'm talking about the place I come home to every day. Stick with me because I'm also going to show you a home that just came to market here and I think is genuinely special. So let's get into it. So let me paint a picture of what daily life actually looks like here. You wake up in Maunawili, and the first thing you see, if your home is positioned right, are those mountains. Not a parking lot, not another building, just mountains and a lot of greenery. The streets are quiet. It's a cul-de-sac kind of neighborhood, the kind where kids still ride bikes and neighbors actually know each other's names. No traffic, no noise, no rush. And yet you're genuinely 5 minutes from Kailua town. So 5 minutes from everything you need. That combination, the privacy of feeling tucked into nature with the convenience of a real town right outside, that's not something you find in many places, even on the windward side. It's rare. Most neighborhoods are one or the other, but Maunawili is both. And I want to talk about something that people who are considering moving here always ask me about, and that's the weather. Because living on the windward side is a whole different experience than the rest of the island. And I think it's one of the most underrated things about this neighborhood. So here's what most people don't realize about Hawaii weather or Hawaii weather. It's not the same everywhere on Oahu, so not even close. So the island has a dry side and a windward side, and they feel like two completely different places. On the windward side in Maunawili, we live inside the weather. And I mean that in the best possible way. So we get the trade winds almost year round, that constant gentle breeze coming off the ocean through the Ko'olau passes. It keeps everything cool and fresh without you ever touching an AC unit. In the middle of summer, when it's humid and still on the dry side of the island, Maunawili feels like someone left the window open. That trade wind is everything. And then there's the rain. Maunawili gets more rainfall than most of Oahu, and I know that sounds like a downside, but it's actually why everything here looks the way it does. That lush, deep green you see on every hillside, that's the rain. It comes in soft and fast, usually in the late afternoon, and then it's gone. You learn to love it. Most days feels like it's less like rain and more like the mountains breathing. Summer out here between May through September is warm, bright, breezy. The days are long, the ocean is calm, and the Ko'ola Mountains are at their most dramatic green. Winter, which runs roughly through October through March, brings a little more rain and slightly bigger surf on the North Shore. But here in Maunawili, it stays mild. We don't really have a bad season. We just have different kinds of beautiful. So if you've been living somewhere with real winters like snow, gray skies, the whole thing, I want you to really hear this. There is no off season here. Every single month of the year, you can be outside. And that changes your life in ways you don't fully appreciate until you're living it. And I want to give you a little context on this area because I think it helps you understand why it feels the way it does. Kailua literally means two seas in Hawaiian. It was a sacred place, historically a residence for Hawaiian royalty, and Maunawili Valley itself was used for taro farming and elaborate irrigation systems running through it. So when you're hiking the trails here, you're actually walking through the land that has been cared for and deeply lived in for a long time. And here's something I always think about every time I drive through the neighborhood. In 1878, Queen Liliuokalani, Hawaii's last queen, was visiting Maunawili. She was on one of her first official tours as heir to the throne, and she made a stop right here in this valley. As her riding party was leaving, she witnessed a young woman saying goodbye to her lover and with a lei. So at that moment, it moved her so deeply that she sat down and wrote a song right here in Maunawili. And that song was Aloha Oe. So her own handwritten note, preserved in Hawaii State Archives, reads, composed at Maunawili, 1878. One of the most recognized songs in all of Hawaiian history, written right here in this neighborhood. I just think that's extraordinary. Now let's talk about the outdoor life. Because living in Maunawili puts you right at the doorstep of some of the most dramatic terrain on Oahu, right here in the valley, the Olamana Trail starts at the Luana Hills Country Club on Loop Road. So you're looking at three peaks, each one standing apart from the Ko'olau Ridge, and they're visible from all over Kailua. You've probably already noticed them if you visited here. The hike to the first peak is about a mile and a half up, and it's not a casual walk. There are steep drop-offs, rope pan lines, real elevation gain. Near the top, you're using your hands, but when you get there, you get a full 360 view. The Ko'olau Range sweeping out to the west, and Kailua laid out below you in that turquoise bay. So it is genuinely one of the best views on the entire island. Most people stop at the first peak, and and honestly, that's the move. The second and third peaks are serious technical terrain. Fourth and fifth class climbing, exposed ridgeline. It's not for everyone, but if that's your thing, it's literally in your backyard if you live in Maunawili. So now here's what I want you to really picture. You do that hike on a Saturday morning, you're back down by noon, and then you drive 10 minutes to Kailua Beach or Lanikai. The water is calm, clear, and that impossible shade of turquoise that doesn't look real in photos, but absolutely is in person. You grab a kayak or a paddleboard and you head out to the Mokulua Islands. That's two small islands sitting just offshore that you can actually land on. It's a place, people fly across the world to visit, and you just went there after your hike on a Saturday. Yeah, so that's the lifestyle here. Actually, that's what it actually looks like. So mountains in the morning, ocean in the afternoon, and none of it requires a special occasion. All right, so that's the life out here in Maunawili, and I want to show you something because a home just came to market in this neighborhood that really captures everything I've been describing. It's on Pu'u Aloha Street, a quiet cul-de-sac, mountain views, fully renovated, and when I walked through it, I thought this is exactly the home people picture when they imagine what it would be like to live in Kailua. So let me take you inside. The Ko'olau Mountains, and your neighborhood was one of the most coveted zip codes on all of Windward Oahu. Welcome to 1287 Pu'u Aloha Street in Kailua, a spacious 4-bedroom, 3-bath home sitting on nearly a third of an acre, tucked away on a quiet cul-de-sac in Maunawili. This is the kind of space, the kind of setting, and the kind of opportunity that doesn't come around often. Let's take a look inside. Some places don't just exist on a map. They exist in a feeling. Welcome to Maunawili, where quiet cul-de-sacs and cathedral greens surround you, and a fully reimagined home waits at the end of the drive. Every detail here was considered, even the path to your front door. Step inside and feel the scale of it. Open, light, alive. A kitchen designed for the way people actually live and the way they love to entertain. Quartz countertops, a waterfall island, and a wine fridge that already knows your plans for the weekend. Your primary suite, private, serene, and every morning, that view. A bathroom that feels like a boutique hotel and belongs entirely to you. Upstairs, a world of its own, an independent one-bedroom suite for family, for guests, for whatever life calls for next. And then this, your deck, your jungle, your exhale. This is windward living, as it was always meant to be. And there you have it, 1287 Pu'u Aloha Street, over 1,200 square feet of living space, a generous lot, and a laid-back Kailua lifestyle just minutes away. If this feels like home, don't wait. Properties like this move fast in this market. Big mahalo to Sal Gonzalez for allowing me to share this beautiful property with you all. Reach out directly to Sal Gonzalez at Remax or to me directly. Let's make this yours. If you haven't subscribed yet, do it now. We bring you the best of Windward Oahu real estate. Mahalo for watching, and I'll see you on the next tour in Kailua. Aloha! Okay, great. So let's go over the property details. So this is 1287 Pu'u Aloha Street, 4 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, 2,471 square feet, fully renovated, sitting on a 12,572 square foot lot. At the end of the quiet cul-de-sac with Ko'ola Mountain views right from this property, listed at 2,149,500 under MLS number 202609203, and it's fee simple ownership. So if you're newer to Hawaii real estate, that means you own the land outright. Always important to confirm when you're buying here. So now let's talk about, or let me tell you what really stands out inside. So the open concept layout with soaring high ceilings, it feels massive the moment you walk in. The kitchen is a showstopper, quartz countertops, a huge waterfall island, all new appliances, the kind of kitchen you actually want to cook in and hang out in. And here's the feature I think is most unique. The upstairs is completely separate. It's a completely separate 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom living area in its own space. So perfect for extended family. And we all know how important ohana space is in Hawaii, or for guests or even rental income to help offset the mortgage. Outside, there's a Trex deck overlooking a lush private backyard, and every single room has its own split AC. Someone thought this home throughout carefully, so it really shows. And one detail I always love to share when I can, this home has only had 2 owners since it was built in 1970. 2 owners in over 50 years. That tells you something about the kind of street Pu'u Aloha is, and about the people who choose Maunawili homes. Here, they don't turn over constantly. So when people land here, they stay. So when something does come up, especially something fully renovated on a lot this size, it matters. This is not a listing you see every week. So, quick word on the market: the Kailua median list price right now is 1,624,000, and this home is listed at 2,149,500. That's $870 a square foot. So, yes, it's above median, but when you factor in that it's fully renovated on a lot over 12,500 square feet, with a flexible floor plan that includes a separate living unit, it's well priced for what you're getting in a low inventory windward market. A home like this doesn't sit forever. It just doesn't. So reach out to listing agent Sal Gonzalez at Remax Hawaii. His number is 808-372-0946. And a huge mahalo to Sal for letting me bring this home to you all today. So drop your questions in the comments about the property, about Maunawili, about what it's like to live here on the windward side. And if you want more from Kailua, I'll see you in the next one. Aloha.